Sarah.
Yes, my
Thank
dear.
you for having us.
Thanks for
So, would you
coming.
mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
So, as you know me, I'm Sarah Irimo Brooks. I was born and raised in Dandora. For those of you who know Dandora, it's a ghetto, one of the biggest ghetto in Kenya.
D.
Yes, watu wa D. I hear you guys.
D.
So, yeah, I was born and raised in Dandora my whole life. Literally left Dandora to come to America. But despite growing up in Dandora, I grew up with a very strong single woman. I grew up with a single woman. My mom raised me alone. And one thing my mom always told me is not about where you're coming from, but it's about where you're going. And so that has been my driving motivation all along, not to concentrate on where I come from, but to think about where I'm heading.
Sure. So, you said you come from Kenya, D.
Yes.
Nta. So, at what age did you come to America?
I came to America when I was 18, immediately I'd finished high school. I came when I was just about to turn 19 is when I came to America. So pretty much my whole adulthood from when I finished my teenagehood, I've grown up here in America by myself. I'm a mother of one kid and I'm married. I have a 4-year adorable kid. So
Wow. Kwa hivyo wewe ni mzito katika hizi corridor.
oh yes, nimekula life.
Na vitongoji vyake. Umesukuma life. So,
yes.
Swali ambalo linakuja in my mind, my next question would be, why law? Why did you decide to do law, given that many Kenyans wanakuja huku, wengi wao 90% nasema they're doing nursing and related professions?
Yeah, so nilipokuja America, I came to study aeronautical engineering.
Oh.
I had big ambition. I still do have big ambitions. And then when I came out here, I couldn't afford to pay school fees, as you all know, got out of status. I had my own struggle to be where I am. And so I figured the closest thing to aeronautical engineering, because I wanted to be in the aviation field, is become a flight attendant. So I went and became a flight attendant for Continental Airlines. And I worked as a flight attendant for 6 years.
Wow.
But by my second year, I would always meet these passengers sometime who would challenge me. Like, you know, you'd have good passengers who would challenge me. And I realized that being a flight attendant was not for me. I had to get a life. I had to stabilize myself as the African way, the way we are taught, kuwa mke wa nyumbani, and traveling as a flight attendant was not gonna cut it. Because I tried dating, of course, I'd be cheated on all the time because I'd be traveling and they would know when I'm coming home. So I decided what was going to help me get to that bridge. Everybody told me nursing and medical field is the way to go. So I went my first semester, did human anatomy. I got an E in human anatomy. So I figured medical was not for me. But I knew I wasn't stupid, I was smart enough. So I decided to challenge myself and do something that I had a passion for.
Yes.
If it wasn't in the aviation industry, the next thing that I was going to do was my next plan B was going to do law. So I just dived in and decided I wanted to do law. The only challenge is, in law is a 4-year degree.
Yes.
Here in America, law is a doctorate degree, 7 years. I didn't even realize it was going to be 7 years. So it looked like an impossible mission, but I had to come up with a plan on how I was going to do it. So I decided to do a 2-year associate degree in paralegal studies, because my goal and my aim was to get to that doctorate degree and become an attorney.
Yes.
So I did an associate degree online while I was still hustling, working as a flight attendant. I would serve drink, and then fast I would go start reading behind the galley. I graduated with my associate degree, all paying out of pocket. Then I transferred to my 4-year degree, and that is when I ended up at the American Military University.
Yes.
I got a scholarship there. So I did my bachelor's degree too while still serving as a flight attendant. And after I finished my bachelor's degree, I had now to face the big thing, which was the last 3 years of my law school, because those ones you can't do online, you have to literally go to school. So I decided to take a leave of absence for 1 year from my flight attendant job. This is the time when the industry for the airline was doing bad. So they were offering people incentive, those who want to take leave off to see if you can get another career. If not, you can come back. And to prevent people from being laid off, they wanted volunteers. So I volunteered. And then I came out here, started doing my hustle, as most of you know me in the Kenyan community, for paralegals, for doing paralegal, helping people file their paperwork for like bankruptcies and divorces. This is the time when also the mortgage industry wasn't doing too well, so I was able to do pretty much very well. And then during that time, my current husband right now was also into the trucking business, so I learned quickly what it entitles to do a trucking business. And I challenged my husband. I told him, why don't we start our own trucking business? So we started our own trucking business, which is still going on up to now. And so after that, I did my LSAT. I aced my LSAT. I got a scholarship to go to Texas A&M for law school. So I started, and that's how I ended up now going to law school for the last 3 years and running a small trucking business, semi-trucking.
Yeah. Wow, what a journey.
Yes, it is.
It's been a long journey.
Yes, it has.
I mean, and that shows that you, apart from being a strong woman, you're very determined, and you're a role model to many. So that makes me wonder and want to know, given that we are foreigners in this country. I mean, we are Americans, but foreigners in that sense. So I would like to know, how did you find yourself there as a foreigner? Like, well, let me rephrase my question. You are foreigner in this country, then you realize that you are a minority in your culture. In that sense, given that law is assumed to be a men's profession, how have you handled yourself to stay relevant, and break it, and you've made it in the market, and you're one of the biggest institutions that offer, counseling services, the law, blah, blah, that you're gonna talk about that later. So tell me about Sarah Brooks as a foreigner.
Sarah Brooks as a foreigner. As I told you, there's one thing I learned growing up from the ghetto: you have to survive to be the fittest. You have to fight to outcome, and that's the only way I was able to raise up from being born and raised in a ghetto to being where I am today, living the American dream. So there are opportunities for foreigners. You just have to have the courage and be willing to explore. When I was in law school, believe it or not, we were less than 25 blacks in a school that had 1,000 students in law school. And there was one thing I came to realize when I was in law school. There's the Black Law Organization. A lot of us, blacks and foreigners, when we have something, we tend to sit in our own circle. We don't want to explore out. And so when I was in law school, I learned how to explore out. And it's through that exploring that you realize, even if you're a foreigner, you're a minority, sometimes it can work to your advantage. There are opportunities for black here. For example, I got a scholarship when I went to law school. I was smart. I aced my LSAT. I got a scholarship. While I was still in law school, I realized there are opportunities and scholarship for black people. I applied for those scholarships for black people. While also they also realized, because I'm a minority, being the fact that I'm black and I'm a foreigner, I applied for those scholarships and I was able to get those scholarships. So a lot of that helped me walk through school fees, because school fees tuition when I was in law school per semester was like per year was like 58,000.
Say that again.
58,000 a year. I mean, $50,000 a year.
Hey.
That was
What?
it was $58,000 a year. So when you hear these lawyers and these medical people saying they graduate with 150 plus student loan, trust me, I know where they come from.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. But as I said, if you're willing to explore and you look into opportunities, their way to ease the burden. I was able to get scholarship along the way on my law school to help out, ease out a lot of these, prevent finishing law school with 200 plus student loan. So there are opportunities there. You just have to go out there and try. Also, being that I'm in a male-dominated industry as a woman, when I got in here, all my mentors literally up to today, they're still men. I had to go to all these men to explore. And I still, even right now, as a black person and being a woman, get challenges even when I'm in court. I've had to go to some of these conservative courts where the judges are like, I can't hear you, you know?
What are you saying?
What are you saying? Can you repeat yourself? You're talking too fast. But slowly I've learned not to take it offensively. And when people tell me, oh, we can't understand you, we can't hear you, or when I realize I'm in a place where I'm a minority,
yes.
I have to look for a way to shine. And the way to shine is not by getting mad. So nowadays I calm down and I will repeat myself 10 times until that judge hears me. Okay? And the more I repeat myself, the more they hear me clearly, and it works at my advantage because I get that edge than my opponent.
Yes.
But yeah, so opportunities are there as a foreigner. You just have to wake up and go look for them. Just because we are minority, just because we're blacks, we're disadvantaged, doesn't mean we can't overcome everything and shine.
Sarah, kuna mtu yako Kenya sahi anakuwatch. Anataka kuwa lawyer.
Yes.
Anataka kuwa whatever they wanna be. They wanna be doctors. Unaweza mwambia nini? Angalia kwa ile kamera. Umwambie yule mtu yako mtaani anakusikiza saizi. Sarah ni ni Mkenya, you know, ako profession ya wazungu lakini ameshine. Vile tu umenieleza mwambie.
Wacha niwaambie.
Yes.
And I'm telling you this, being that nimezaliwa D, nikalelewa D, I still love my mta. Up to today when I go home, the first place nikifika, my mom still is in Dandora. I still go to Dandora. I have not forgotten my cup. Because kila siku nikienda D, it reminds me penye nimetoka.
Yes.
So for those of you who are watching me out there, it's doable. It is doable. You just have to have a goal. Know what you want. You're gonna encounter problems along the way, obstacles. If you give up, it's very unfortunate for you. But if you persevere and work hard towards what you're looking for, you will shine. Here I am. I finished law school. I didn't think I was gonna own my own law practice. I started this law practicing, paying rent, not even knowing if I was gonna get a client. But here I am. Here I am. I have overcome it. And even up to now, I'm in a male-dominated industry. I still wake up, I go compete with my counters, and I still come out and shine because I've worked hard. I know what I want in life, and I'm not gonna give up regardless of how much I get obstacles. And if plan A fails, have a plan B and a plan C. Wow. You can't go wrong.
Wow. Be motivated. Huyo ni Sarah.
Believe in yourself.
Amefika hapa anakuambia believe in yourself. Inawezekana akona law firm, a very big law firm. Anze leo lunch ni huku. So amekwambia, you know, you can make it, keep working hard. Dreams are valid. Dream and dream hard. If you don't dream, go back to sleep. Dream again. So it's possible, and you know, she is a model to many of us out here. So Sarah, I would like you to tell me the best moment in your career.
My best moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down. What is your best moment and what is your worst moment in your career?
My best moment to me was opening my own law firm. Believe you me, when I opened this law firm, I did not even know if I was gonna get a client.
Yes.
I just took a leap of faith on myself. And let me tell you, this is a true experience. And one of my colleagues who's Laban, and also there's another attorney called Michael Igwe. They're my two big mentors, and George and Ibowe, they will tell you. When I first opened this law firm, I went signed a 1-year lease contract because I wasn't sure what's gonna happen. And then when I talked to them, they were like, Sarah, don't you believe in yourself? They made me come back and sign a 7-year lease contract, which I signed. I signed a 7-year lease contract not knowing if I'd get a client because I believed in myself. And here I am. Every day is a challenge. So my biggest moment in my career was the fact that I graduated and I passed the bar exam. I passed the bar exam with a 2-month-old baby, and I opened this law firm when my kid was 4 months old. That was the best moment. My lowest moment in my career is one of the things that I have a passion for is family law and immigration. One of my worst moment is when my clients have had to make the hardest decision to wrap up, like maybe to take a voluntary departure. I think that's my saddest moment because you work too hard, but it comes to that moment when you have to face a reality and tell a client this is what we're facing. And I think every time it breaks my heart when I have to see my clients take a voluntary departure or have to leave the country.
Wow. Watch out for part 2. We are coming.
Huh?